Okay, let's do as the title suggests and get into some replays. I've got a bunch of replays I wanted to watch. Got a really cool Vatira replay. Got a BDS game that I think is very impressive. Also got a couple of reverse sweeps and a Sypical game that I think is very impressive. Shall we start off with... Well, let's start off with a reverse sweep. Let's see the reverse sweep of SSG over Oxygen. How about that? I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit here. Let me know if this is loud enough. Is that loud enough, chat? We're going to be... Sorry, I didn't mean to pause there, but we are going to be pausing. We're in Arsenal POV for this game. Space Station down 3 here. Look at Arsenal immediately going for demos. That's so sneaky. I'm going to look at this. A lot of players would just grab that mid boost and rotate back, but Arsenal, I don't know, did he mean to miss the mid boost? Very peculiar play. I mean, he's saving 44. Maybe he just doesn't know that the mid boost is up. Did he not see it though? Yeah, the mid boost is in his screen. Oh, he just didn't check. Like, wait, maybe it's not actually there. This might be a replay bug. Might be a replay bug. Okay, I think it's not actually, or it just respawned. Yeah, he goes for the immediate demo. Sacrificing his boost total to try and mess up the other team. Very Arsenal-y move. He's thinking, what would Mark by 8 do? What would Mark by 8 do in this position? Would he rotate? No. I'm not going to rotate either then. Already not looking too good in this game 4. Remember that Space Station were down 3 games to 0 when this had happened. Yeah, boost does sometimes bug in replays. It shows as visible when it's not actually there. Gimmick in the Dominus here. Used to be the best Dominus player and one of the only Dominus players who is actually functional in pro play. I mean, Dominus is a card that I meme on quite a lot, but in pro play I don't mind it for certain situations. You know, certain players make it work quite well. I was kind of critical of Joyo in the, what was it called, the Mustang, which is a visually longer car in the most recent regional event, but yeah, on some days I think it could work for him. I just think on that particular day it didn't look to be the most consistent. Turbo is great at the Dominus. Yeah, Turbo had a lot of cars. He won a world championship in the Batmobile. I think he won one in the Octane. Arsenal looking for the double here. Not able to get a good first touch to set it up. So, since Daniel's joined SSG, I've really liked how they play. Being honest, but oh my goodness, Arsenal. Gotta grab a boost. I'm pretty sure that one was there. Oh my goodness, Arsenal, can we get the boost, please? Thank you. And he decides to control this on the back wall. That's a good idea because it didn't look like it was going to be a super easy boomer to clear. Oh my goodness, SSG. You know, overall, I've been loving them since Daniel has joined, but this is a messy game so far. Definitely a messy game. They've not managed to turn the momentum around just yet, so still waiting on that. So many bumps being attempted by Arsenal. He's decided to be that disruptor role. Remember, this guy actually won the most annoying to play against award in the Player's Choice Awards that I did. Obviously, that's just an unofficial award show that I did. That's a bit of a heavy first touch there by Arsenal, giving away the ball. V Ors, thanks for the brand new Prime. Welcome to the channel. Always looking for those demos though. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. I can see why, you know, in this game people might think this is so annoying to play against Arsenal. He's just going for demos and he's driving right at me. And it can be frustrating, you know, if you're running into a player who just blatantly goes for demos against you, which is sort of how I would describe Arsenal's demo strategy in this game. It's not been he did one really sneaky one at the start of the game, but since then it's been quite obvious where he is. He's definitely staying active in this rotation, but by taking that boost he did force Rettles to go all the way back. Nice pass though, and a finish as well. So gonna rewind this briefly, see what happened to V1, because this definitely went wrong for them. Toasty and LJ are both near the goal, and Toasty lunges. Arsenal does well to get the ball under him. And now we've got Gimmick and LJ, and look at Daniel in the bottom left corner of your screen there, knocking Gimmick out of the frame. So LJ's committed. He's hoping that Gimmick's able to move off that touch and get a good clear, but Daniel boxed him off the play. So I think people will able... Did I say V1? I probably did. You guys are all typing V1. It's Oxygen. Oxygen. I keep mixing up V1 and Oxygen because they're competing for that. Well, they look like the main competition for that 5th land spot coming out of NA for the Winter Major. And also because Torment Gimmick. Yeah, Arsenal's trying to be active in this play. This is interesting. Look at how he decides to move here. He's checking, you know, is anybody from my team going here? Is anybody pressuring this ball? No. Okay, so he moves in. Daniel just went back for 100 boost. Rettles has a fair bit of boost as well. I want to see Daniel's POV briefly. He's made one touch on this and then starts boosting back. He's hoping that that'll, you know, be a ball someone else can attack. I want to see Rettles' POV as well. So yeah, nobody going for the ball, and this is something that you'll see quite a lot in teams that are still trying to figure out how everybody's supposed to be playing. And even in teams that are very used to playing with each other, you know, everybody will be doing the same thing. Nobody pressuring. That's why Arsenal's actually getting ready to pressure this, because he doesn't want to allow this ball to be controlled. He doesn't want LJ to like drop that ball middle. In field for a pass, whether it's Gimmick turning onto it, whether it's Toasty running into it. So that's actually a good move by Arsenal. He's covered in the most dangerous play that the other team could be making, which is just a very soft touch by LJ that one of his teammates would be able to run onto and make a solo play. By Arsenal just being here, you know, if LJ went for some kind of soft pass, he would be able to close the distance. LJ doesn't go for that, so Arsenal leaves the scene. But little moves like that are actually really smart, and I like that a lot. Shows that he's thinking, okay, how can I help my teammates out in this play? Even though he himself wasn't in the most comfortable position. He's 35 boost. A lot of players would be like, I don't care about my teammates, I'm just going for the 100 boost. But Arsenal showing that he wants to stay active in the play, make sure that nothing bad is going to happen. I wanted to also, sorry for rewinding this multiple times, but I did want to talk about one other thing from Daniel here. So Daniel making a blind vertical aerial, and he goes for a forward touch on it. Now, when you've got one man out of the play, as Daniel knows that he does, Arsenal's out of the play here, so it's just him and Rettles. Got to think, where can I hit this that will actually, you know, be possible for my teammate to follow up on? And if you're knocking it forward for your last man to run onto, they're probably not going to go for it because it's too risky. Arsenal's already out of the game. He's coming back. So, you know, maybe a bit more sensible touch here for Daniel would be a back corner touch. And it seems like, you know, that might be a bit awkward, but you know, if you call it early enough, you just lob that ball into the back corner, then you've got possession in this position. So Daniel and Rettles right here, they'd have the ball instead of LJ having the ball at the midfield. LJ doesn't really do a good job at this. This is a, you know, technically a possession giveaway by Daniel, but LJ just goes very, very fast for this. Not sure, you know, maybe he thought Rettles or Daniel was going to go, but yeah, there's really no rush here. I don't know why he decides to go as fast as he would. Gimmick would challenge the corner. Well, yeah, that's fine. Defensive back corner 50-50s are usually quite good for the defense. You're taking someone out of the game for free. But yeah, it's kind of like a touch that's automatic for a lot of people. That touch there from Daniel, just flying up and knocking the ball to the side in the midfield. It's definitely a lot better than knocking it straight down the middle towards where the third man's going to be. But, you know, sometimes it's better to just go straight sideways or backwards, not this like slice forward. Yeah, I guess, you know, one thing that LJ, based on the POV he's got, one thing he could be thinking is that Daniel might have that again. But, I mean, here you can see Daniel's bailing on that play. So, you know, if LJ's initially moving in quickly here because he thinks Daniel's going to have a double touch and he wants to challenge that, or he thinks Rettles is going to charge in on this, well, now you can see that nobody's going. You know, like, Arsenal's coming in the left of your screen, but you're easily going to beat into the ball. Just take your time. You know, this is definitely a rush touch by LJ. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he could slow down now, which he does, and actually wait for the bounce, see what happens. If Arsenal dives, then he can just choose to beat him to the ball because he's that much closer. But he just goes for it and gives it away, which is not effective, obviously. So, yeah, a bit of giveaway possession for both teams. As you can see, like, these are the kind of defensive 50-50s that are always, you know, as long as you've got good positioning and defense, these are fine. You know, as long as your last man is in the net, ready to respond, Rail's a little bit off the goal line here, so this could have been awkward. Not a good example of perfect positioning. I think, you know, maybe in the net is better for your third man when a 50-50 comes across, just in that near post area. But, you know, what exactly are... What are Oxygen going to do from this position? Not a lot. Defensive corner, pretty safe for SSG. You never need to panic, because what are they going to do there? Yeah, in fact, they're the team who are going to score after the ball's in their back corner for a while. Recoveries take too long for Oxygen, and Space Station walk the ball into the open net. No need to be afraid of having the ball in your back corner. Now, smart move by Arsenal. This is a good thing to do if you're going to go for off-the-wall blocks, because this is something I see that I don't really see this being done wrong in pro play very often, but this is something that is often done wrong in ranked, and in a lot of your guys who are watching your games. Players will, in their attempt to get a big block on this, they'll flip to the left. You know, the ball's coming off the wall to the left. They're going to flip to the left, but you know, a pretty smart move is actually to fly further off to the wall, like Arsenal has here, and then flip to the right. And the reason for that is that you're just going to land on the wall more quickly. Arsenal didn't land on the wall as quickly as players usually will when they do this. You floated for a fair bit, but if you do this correctly, you're going to hit the ball, and then you're going to land on the wall immediately, and get right back into the play, instead of, you know, probably being floating somewhere over here. That's where most of you guys are landing. Some of you are even landing in here, in the net. After you miss your dunk off the wall, your car goes, oh, look at me, and then lands in the goal, and your teammates concede 2v3. So smart way to get back faster. Just get up in the air, or fly a little bit further off the wall, and then dodge inwards towards the wall again. It's very good when you're challenging like that in corners, especially. Nice shot there by SSG. They're up 3-1. They've not really... I wouldn't say they've played that well here. They've taken their chances. They've been clinical. Luckily, Oxygen just didn't really do all that much with the ball, as you'd expect for a team of two dominance players. Jokes. No, pros can do this. I promise. So now it's all about wasting time for SSG. Arsenal trying to set up an air dribble, it would seem, which is usually a good idea. You know, air dribbling to waste time. Smart. Gets bumped. But unfortunate. This is game 4. We're going to watch all of the reverse sweep games. Pausing at a few key moments. And it looks like this is going to be game over. Let's just get into the next one. Nothing else that happens in this is relevant, because this is absolutely done. So, let's maybe watch a Daniel game, shall we? See how he gets on. So Oxygen have failed the first attempt to convert this series. And, you know, a lot of times in these potential setups for reverse sweeps, game 5 is a really, really key game, because, you know, you've just lost game 4, lose game 5. Okay, now you're losing 2 in a row. One more and the series is tied. So a lot of teams will kind of choke in game 6 if they do lose game 5. For that reason, I think, you know, it's probably a good idea to just try and be as solid as possible. Really good choice of height there for Daniel when he pre-jumps to block the air dribble. Those some player salaries in a player union. I have no idea what the context is on that one. Nice mechanics, thank you. I want to see, did Daniel see when this boost was taken? Sometimes I'm rewinding a bit here to see. Okay, Daniel did see that boost get taken at 4:13. Now, a lot of players won't look at the clock. I know some players do. They look at the clock to see exactly when the boost is being taken. Some players prefer to just kind of do it off a feeling. And one, you know, way that you can know if a boost is likely to come back is just think to yourself, have I seen anyone in that area of the field recently in the past 10 seconds? No? Okay, a boost is probably coming back. I think that's what Daniel's tried to do here, but he's 1 second early. You know, if he looked at the exact time, he'd know that boost is not back yet. It's 1 more second. It looks like he was just trying to do it off feeling. You know, it can be, I think, smart to look at the clock if you're setting up boost seals in offense. But I think in that instance, Daniel probably wasn't thinking about stealing that boost when it was taken. It wouldn't have been on his mind. Twitter, NA pros saying EU players are getting scammed. Really? Who's been saying that? What NA pros are tweeting that EU players are getting scammed? And did they, like, were there any names? Were there any teams dropped? Rettles. Ah, of course, Rettles. I'm curious to see that one. I'll definitely check it out. Let me just pull it up here. Let me pull up the Rettles tweet while this game continues. I'll pause if anything interesting happens. So Rettles says, public salaries to give teams more negotiating power when they're signing need to be a thing in Rocket League. These European teams are getting scammed, all caps. We have teams outside the top 12 making more than some of your best teams. Get something going, Monkey Moon, Archie, Yapjack. Interesting. I mean, I think public salaries for Rocket League and Esports, I'm definitely fine with that. I think it would be that would be beneficial for sure. Oh, Jack also replied. Hold on, let me. Sorry, the screen freeze. Let me just pull that one up as well. Lots of EU pros agreed. Okay, so Jack replied. Did he reply to the original tweet? I'm looking for the Jack reply. Maybe he replied to the second tweet. I need to click on that one. Jack says easier said than done. Interesting. Alright, hold on. Let's see what happened here, because I was looking at Twitter. It's a big play from Arsenal. Big flick from Arsenal. Tox had an interesting tweet about this. Really? Okay, okay. Let's see what Tox has to say. Tox said, I used to get 1k with 30% prize when I was top 4 EU. So let's spread the word. Yeah. So it looks like everybody agrees. I mean, one of the reasons, well, there's a lot of reasons why players end up on salaries that aren't as good as others. You know, one of the reasons is that recently, nice double by Daniel there, very well done. But yeah, one of the reasons is that, you know, when a team comes out of nowhere and wins an event, they're not making any money. You know, when a pickup team or a team that are orgless win an event, they're making 0 as a salary. Their salary is nothing. So if you know, go from being just an online player, just a player who plays for fun, player with your friends, and then suddenly you're winning an event, probably a lot of orgs are going to want to sign you so they can get their you know, org into Rocket League, especially these days with the org decals and the sponsor being on them. So yeah, probably a lot of offers going to come out of nowhere, and players might think, wow, 1,000 is a lot more than 0, so I say we take it, you know, just grab that, let's get it, free money. But also other players will get signed when they're not even a successful team. You know, they'll be in a very small team that aren't really doing much, and then they'll get signed before they make it really big. And I don't know any specifics of what teams have been in this category, but there's definitely some. Great read by Daniel here. Tried to reset. Ooh, got the reset. Was that a reset or did he just fall? Am I stupid? I think he did. Yeah, he did get the reset. Back wheels look like they were quite far away. But yeah, lots. You know, if you sign a contract, you know, maybe at the time it'll be a good deal. Like, what if you're like the 20th best team in the region and you're making a decent bit of money for a number 20 team, but then suddenly you become a top team in the region? Now that's not so good. You know, is it in your contract that if you become a top team, you're suddenly going to get a salary, you know, like triple or quadruple? Probably not. Probably an org isn't going to write that contract. You know, is that their fault? Is it the player's fault? Well, I mean, that's up to you to decide. You know, there's always going to be, you know, lots of variables when it comes to signing contracts. But yeah, one thing that we can all definitely agree on is that players knowing what their peers are making before they sign a contract would definitely be a good idea. So I would like that. Can't see how that would harm anyone. And yeah, from what I've come to understand is nobody's really that secretive with it. I mean, everybody's quite open with what they make. You know, when they're discussing with each other in the pro scene, so they could, you know, just reach out to someone. It's always a good idea if you're not sure about signing a contract, if you're you know, up and coming player, anything really in esports. You want, yeah, always have a word with you know, someone else about that before you just go dive in and sign a contract. Merch S, thanks to the 23-month tier 1. Stone YT, thanks to the brand new Prime as well. Appreciate you guys. If players ask for more in the first contract, the org will become uninterested. Well, you know, times have changed. You know, these days, I'm sure with the away decals with sponsors on them being in game, orgs are probably willing to spend more on their Rocket League team because they're set to make more from having a Rocket League team. You know, it's all very dependent on the circumstance. Great recovery here by Rettles, looking like me and my games, my rank games there. Almost all pros know each other's pro salaries, but since it's smaller in EU, people are satisfied with less. Yeah, okay, well there's lots of other reasons. So in North America, a lot of the top teams are very, very established players. They're very established teams. Think of the, you know, teams like NRG, G2. Those orgs have been in Rocket League for a long time. You know, some of those players have been on those rosters for a long, long time. There's also, you know, in other top teams, very, you know, OG players. We're looking at one right now with Gimmick, you know, all of the SSG roster, except Daniel, of course. They've been around for ages, and you know, that kind of sets a bar in NA being quite high, that then other teams, if a team comes in and beats all those teams, they've got a lot of negotiating power, because they're saying, well, look, you know, we just beat the team twice in a row that is getting paid this much, so we want you to pay us this much. You know, that's a lot of negotiating power. Whereas in Europe, when RLCS Season X happened, pretty much every team at the top was brand new, apart from Vitality. They were the only team, well, I guess Solary as well, you could say, but you know, they started off the season quite low down the rankings and only got up to the top 6 towards the end. But you know, apart from Vitality, there weren't any teams in Europe. All of the top teams were very new, even BDS, brand new to that level. So you can't expect to just, you know, get paid as much as a really established team who have been building their brands for years and years. They've been, you know, building that org's name for years and years. You can't expect just because you've won a couple of events to then be accelerated onto that level. It's not how it works. You know, there's a lot of time that goes into that. And obviously the other big thing is content. You know, some of the big names in NA are huge content creators. You know, Arsenal, massive YouTube channel. All of NRG, extremely big on the content side. So that's a bonus as well. You know, if you're making a whole load of content, yeah, you're probably going to get paid more. So you know, that's why it's so important as a pro player when you do get a chance to make a name for yourself, that you make the most of it. And I like teams that do that. Teams like Dignitas, Jack's like grinding the content now that he's on a top team, because he probably knows, Jack's a smart guy. He probably knows that pro, you know, career, even if you're insanely driven and really good at staying at the top of your games, like, you know, players like Garrett G, it's still smart to, you know, not just gamble in the fact that that's going to work, and instead start grinding that content, so you've got something to transition into. It's also like less pressure, because if you've got content to fall back on, there's a lot less pressure in your pro career, which is a big benefit for players who have got large YouTube channels, large Twitch channels. Yeah, with the rise of you know, the French Rocket League scene, the Spanish Rocket League scene, I think that a lot of those teams in EU are going to benefit. Look at this, 1 goal up with 46 seconds to go. Game 6. Oxford is set to close out the series here. But yeah, EU is just a bit behind, because a lot of the players at the top are new, and a lot of the players at the top are, you know, changing every single week. You know, one of the benefits of NA being a less deep region is that if you sign a Rocket League team, a North American Rocket League team, there's a very good chance that they make every single RLCS event, because it's just easier to qualify for North American RLCS events than it is Europe. If you sign a big team in Europe and they have to qualify, that's tough. You know, that's hard for anybody. Those qualifiers are brutal. So it's a better, you know, investment to get your screen time to sign an NA team, because NA is just easier to qualify for. even though the viewership is similar. And EU has a lot of little pockets of viewers, like, well, a lot of big pockets of viewers now, like the French scene. You know, if you sign a UK team, are the French orgs and are the French fans really going to care too much about that? Probably not. You know, you're probably only going to get the English-speaking EU audience to really be a fan of that team. You're never going to have one team in Europe with all the fans like you do NRG and NA, because everybody only speaks English in America. Well, North America, I should say. Well, at least in the current North American Rocket League scene. Maybe one day Mexico will have some top teams, and then we'll have a Spanish scene as well in NA. But yeah, there's lots of different reasons why EU salaries are lower and will remain lower. Like, even with everybody knowing, like, even if there's a player union, and even if there, you know, is full transparency on what everybody's making, and it was public knowledge, NA teams will still make more. It's just how it is. Maybe, you know, if only 2 NA teams auto-qualify for Worlds and 4 EU teams auto-qualify or something, you know, if it gets bad for NA in that regard, then maybe, you know, by the end of this season, that could be the first time that EU's stock is rising. It all depends on who makes those world spots. What's up, Top Cheese? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you've been well. There should be a minimum. Nobody's saying that. I know. I'm not. You know, disagreeing with the fact that there should be a minimum. But yeah. I just wanted to set the standard here. Really good passing by SSG at the end of this game. Clutch passing to get the comeback here. I want to see some more Arsenal gameplay. It's very interesting watching Arsenal play. Are these scrims? No, this is the first ever reverse sweep in North American RLCS history. That's the fact, right? It was NA RLCS history, first ever reverse sweep. That's kind of mind-blowing, if that's true. Is that what it was? Somebody confirm. Because I know in a best of 7, yeah, best of 7 for, reverse sweep. Because I know in Europe we had Dignitas reverse sweep Barcelona in season 7 in a best of 7. And I know Mocket have got a reverse sweep, I think, on PSG, or, you know, was it Mocket at the time? I think it was. I'm pretty sure there's been multiple best of 7 reverse sweeps in European RLCS before, but kind of crazy that in North American RLCS, this is the first best of 7 reverse sweep. Guild versus Wolves, was that best of 7 as well? There's been loads in Europe. Does that count lands? Well, there's never been a North American RLCS LAN, there's been international RLCS LANs. Somebody was asking earlier, and I didn't answer because we were on the topic of orgs and earnings and stuff, but I think that Oxygen will take that last spot in North America. I'm backing this team to do it. They're currently in 5th overall. I think they can do it again. I really wonder, you know, on top of the, like, the discussion that's currently going on, which I completely agree with, by the way. I think that this sounds like a great idea to have a players union and to help players get what they're worth from the very start. I love that. I'm very curious, so obviously this isn't stuff that we're ever going to know, but I'd love to know, like, if any Rocket League teams, any Rocket League orgs are actually making money. I wonder if they are. This is curious. I'm not sure I like this rotation by Arsenal. And I wonder if now that the away decals are in the game, if it's possible to make money. So that boost is actually there. That's not a replay bug. This is actually here. It's kind of interesting that Arsenal goes for the mid here, because he knows Daniel is going to come right behind him for this boost as well. And Arsenal's going to need to make a play on that ball that just got fired across the field. Now, in this instance, it's actually fine because Daniel's able to get there in time. But there are actually cases, and it happens a lot in 2v2, but sometimes in 3v3, where it's better to leave this mid boost and go for the back boost instead. If you see that the other team are coming at you like this, if that clear is coming at you down the line, well, maybe it's not a clear. Maybe this Toasty's just like dribbling at Daniel and Daniel's shadowing. You'd want to leave Daniel the mid boost here, stay behind him, get ready to challenge, because he can take the mid boost, and then you could take the back boost, and then Daniel can make a play on the ball, and you follow him. In this case, the ball switched inside to the field, so actually that's not as efficient. It's more efficient to do what Arsenal did here, but sometimes you want to leave that mid boost for the guy who's coming in. That way you can kind of stay closer together as one of you turns to challenge. Why are they doing it if they lose money? Well, it's like any investment, you know. If you think you can make money in the future, then you're willing to lose money in the short term. And I think that's what all esports orgs are doing, you know. It's like an investment to build your brand, build your fan base, and then maybe years from now, when esports is bigger, that's when they can make money. I think that's the idea. I've never been part of that decision-making process on any esports org, but I mean, that's got to be it, right? Man, I wonder how, like, what is the boost situation on Oxygen here? It's actually quite okay. That's decent. This is just such a bad hit by Gimmick that they lose any kind of pressure they could have got. What is this? What is this wet fart Dominus clear? Octane, the ball's absolutely smashing the backboard here. It looked like he had no boost when he hit this, like based on how fast the ball went. I was like, is he boost starved or something? No, he's not even boost starved. Dominus is just trash. But you know, disclaimer, Dominus is not trash, it's just a more precise car. You need to be very precise with your touches, or else you'll lose a lot of power. We're in Arsenal POV here. Oh my, I was about to say a player who does a lot for his teammates, and I love watching him play, but Arsenal! My guy. Nah, he's fine actually. He sees Daniel taking the 100. So watch this right here. I think that's a real boost. Hard to know in replays, but I think that's a real boost. Let's see Daniel POV. Yeah, it is. So Daniel would have called out in comms here that he got the 100 on spawn, and then Arsenal just takes this one because he can get 100 as well. Yes, it's kind of funny. I actually saw, I think we might watch it later if we have time, but there's a FaZe game where the exact same thing happens. A FaZe NRG game where the same thing happens. It looks like one of the FaZe players is just boost starving his teammate, but in fact, the teammate that was getting the boost stolen from them had actually picked up 100 on spawn and probably called it out in comms. And that's why the boost is being taken. They're not that evil to each other. All right, score that. Bang. Oh wait, it's actually a goal. What? Really feel like this should have been defended. It's decent pass, but I mean, come on, it's not that fast. It's not that fast. Yeah, Gimmick's got to be trying to cover the pass here, and you know, the issue for Gimmick is that the position he's in makes it quite hard for him to see when the shot is coming. Now finally he can see Daniel on his screen, and because of like just human benchmark brain delay, he can't react to this. There's just no way. So he doesn't know how quickly he should be up. But in general, a good rule of thumb is if you can't see the attacking player, you just want to go for the ball as fast as you can. Like, get up for this as fast as humanly possible. Gimmick's actually like turned to the left here though, so he can't. He has to steer and then jump. That allows Daniel to beat him to it. So pretty awkward positioning by Gimmick. Would have been smart here to, you know, preemptively, before that touch happens, move away from the play a little bit to the left, turn to face the play, and then when the infield pass happens, he can intercept it. He doesn't need to worry about the goal here. You know, if Gimmick's like thinking he might need to make a save, that's not a good idea to be covering. He should only be thinking about covering the infield pass here, because Toasty has the goal covered, or should have the goal covered. So it's not a good distribution of roles there for Oxygen. They kind of just both did the same thing, both kind of covering the goal. Toasty was the one who should have been covering the goal though. That being said, okay, Doc Cheese is saying that you think Toasty could have got a touch. Let's take a look. I mean, I don't think this is ever on Toasty. If that's... Nah, I don't think, how can you say this is never Toasty? He could have maybe waited, but again, from this range, he's imagining Daniel's just absolutely slaughtering that top corner. There's no way Toasty's going to get there. Nothing he can do. You know, actually, going back to that earnings or salary talk, it's really clear, like, to see... Oh my goodness, what is this defense? Oh dear, oh dear. What is happening? How does this make it through? Anyway. Yeah, it's really clear to see some players, some teams get a salary, then they're like, okay, job done, and they just start slacking. Like, you know, a lot of these young players get very comfortable. And they get a big salary and they just start like spending all the money on like stuff they don't need, which is fine, by the way. It's okay to spend your money, but you know, only a better idea to spend your money if you've got like good investments as well. More importantly though, like, keep grinding, you know, don't lose that hunger, because like just because you got that big salary doesn't mean you're always going to have it. All it takes is like 3 bad months and your team's probably looking at you like they want you to become a bench warmer. Oh man. Ball, Gimmick, ball. Not boost, ball. Don't allow Daniel to come through. Just do your team a favor and smack your Dominus into the ball here. Just absolutely obliterate it. 50-50 is great here for the defense. Great. I think he mind gamed LJ as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, no question. LJ thinks Gimmick's gonna flip into that ball. You gotta flip into the ball here. You just gotta go do your team a solid. Like when you've got no boost, and this is just you know, a general Rocket League kind of rule. If you don't have boost, like actually zero, it's usually better to be making a play on the ball than it is to be rotating. Because, well, that is if your team already have the net covered. You know, obviously everything's situational, but if your teammate has boost and is in the net, again, let's just ignore Toasty for a bit. Let's think about 2v2. Pretend this is a 2v2. Can I get another orange player in the frame? There we go. Toasty's not here. This is a 2v2, guys. Let's just say this is 2v2 to make it a little bit easier to understand. Gimmick's on 0 boost, LJ has boost. You'd rather have your player who has boost be the guy who's reacting to the 50-50. Because if, like, let's switch the roles here. If LJ's on 0 boost and Gimmick has lots of boost, and then Gimmick throws himself at the ball in a 50-50 and the ball bounces middle, LJ doesn't have any boost. How's he going to react to that? You know? What are you going to do? It's usually better if your teammate with boost already has the net covered to just 50-50 the ball. Stay on the ball, pressure the ball. Even though you have no boost, rotating away is usually a mistake. Because you can still see a pixel of Toasty. That's a boost, mate. That's not Toasty. That's a boost. Immersion restored. Actually, immersion ruined. We can see Toasty's shadow. Okay, he's gone. He's gone. It's 2v2. Yeah, obviously everything in Rocket League is situational, but you usually want to force a 50 or just like pressure the ball if you're on 0 and your teammate's defending and he's got 100. Or like he's got boost in net. Because if Toasty, or rather if Gimmick just 50s this ball, LJ can probably react to it and challenge either Rettles or Arsenal depending on where it goes. But because it's gone this way, now LJ's like, wait, what? And he has to react last second. And he just ends up missing. Because, yeah, it's a pretty hard position to read. I mean, he probably thought Gimmick's going to go for that. And then he's like, wait, you didn't go? And he tries. Doesn't get there. And luckily they're going to survive that play, but yeah, I think Gimmick should have probably flipped into the ball. I want to see where Arsenal used the boost pad. There it is. Gone! Arsenal! What happened to the boost pad, bro? We're already going pretty fast. If you want to go faster, you could flip. What happened to that 6 boost as well? Where's it all going? Psh, gone. Psh. Also, 6 gone. 18 boost in the bin. Binned. You binned 18 boost. Where's the last 6 go? Oh, it's gone as well. Arsenal. Oh, man. It would be much nicer to be on 24 boost and 0 on the back wall here. Anyone? Oh my goodness! Anyone agree? Can I get some agreeers in chat? It's okay though, because he knows that you should just flip into the ball. 12 boost. Okay, are we gonna save this one? This is valuable. This is all we've got. Yes. Yes. Okay, 100. Excellent. He wants to get a 0-second goal. He's like, oh, can I get stuck in here? Stop making fun of him. His controller is broken. What? His controller is broken right now in this series? Really? What happened? Whoa, Daniel, that's a little bit high. A little bit of a high pass there, my friend. Yeah, he is trying to lob that up to Arsenal, but my goodness, does he boom that. He has his boost button stuck? Nah, there's no way he had a boost button stuck. I don't believe that. Alright, round 0. I guess he was just hoping that that boost would get missed. Oh no. Oh! Oh, SSG surviving. This is not fun for Arsenal. He wants the boost so badly. Reynolds takes it. When your teammates become your enemies. He wants the other corner and he gets it from him. Oh. This has been a horrendously stressful end of the game for Arsenal. Super stressful. Look at this again though. He does the same thing. Remember what I was telling you earlier? Remember I was telling you guys that when you go for your off-the-wall 50-50s, you're like flopping off the wall, floating through space. Look at Arsenal. Jumps off the wall to get behind the ball. And then he flips back towards the wall. Very, very clever. And also, he notices that because he's not that far away from the wall, like if you flip into the wall from this range, your flip isn't going to complete before you actually reach the ball. So he knows, in order for the flip to land me on the wall, I need to actually start air rolling left, you know, get that rotation started, and then dodge. And that's how he lands on his wheels. So another little tip for you guys. Thank you, Arsenal, for illustrating that mechanic for everybody. It's really going to improve your off-the-wall 50-50s. And more importantly, it'll improve your recoveries after making those 50-50s. Super, super strong to do in corners. That's a goal. Why is this a goal? Why is this in the net? Oh, no! Oh! Oh, Gimmick had a lot of faith in LJ here. He had a glance, and he's thinking, yeah, there's no way LJ is going to give that ball away. He's got it. He's got it under control. Toasty's got his back. It's all good. Oh, no. It's not good at all. It's bad. All right, let's see what LJ was doing here. He was faking. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'll be honest, guys. Don't know about that mind game. I really don't think that's working a lot of the time in 3v3 these days. I think this is working almost never in 3v3. I mean, everybody ball chases because ball chasing is good. It's good for the soul. So yeah, this is not a good idea for LJ. Not a very convincing fake either. If we look at Daniel's POV, he could probably clearly see that LJ has no intention of going for this. Man, what a freebie. What a freebie. You think Toasty called it? Okay, well, that might be the only thing you could say about this play is that LJ might be trying to like waste some time so Toasty can come in and hit the ball with unbelievable force. But I don't know. Not a good play. Not a good idea to mind game like this. Too risky. Too risky, especially in a world full of ball chasers. Gimmick could have turned the other way Yeah, Gimmick could have definitely played this a little bit safer. I mean, he did it. We need to go back 10 seconds and see. So he saw when the boost got taken. I mean, he was in the play when the boost got taken. So right here, I think he probably like can come to the conclusion that somebody took the boost in the corner there. So around about 58, was it? No, 56. Yeah, he tries to go back and get it on spawn, but he was just a slight touch too early. Okay, it got taken after he thought. Fair enough. Yeah, I can see why he would have thought that this would have been back sooner. Because it was actually being taken now. That's a tough one. Because yeah, Gimmick probably thought that the boost got taken around about there. Let's go back even further. Okay, he got demoed. And the boost just got picked up, I think, by someone in this play. It was blind. I don't know who took it. It's a bit of a chaotic situation. I mean, seriously, who's got the boost? Sometimes in replays, it literally just doesn't even show you who got it. Oh, there it is. So that might be the real boost. I think it is. Is it real? No way is that boost real. It's fake. Okay, never mind. We're like, with how much the replays mess with us, it's like we've seen an oasis in a desert when we're absolutely dying of thirst. The boost is right there. It's like, I'm real. Trust me. We have to know better. It's not. But yeah, I could see why Gimmick would have thought the boost was respawning when it was, because there was a big, there's a really big mess in the corner right here. There's loads of cars in the corner, and he's probably thinking the boost got taken, but actually, it's being taken by LJ now. So did LJ communicate that? If LJ said that he just took back right, then Gimmick would know that it's not there. On this rotation back, he'd know that he shouldn't go for the back right boost because it just got taken by LJ 3 seconds ago. And if he knows that, then instead of going for the back corner boost, he'll just go for some small pads. But the fact that he goes over here makes me think that maybe it wasn't communicated, or maybe Gimmick just can't count to 10 seconds in his head very well. Either way, bit of a lame way to lose. Terrible goal at the end of getting reverse swept. Feels bad.